A little panel coming up to kind of go over some awesome training here, and there are three of the best trainers I think we have in the entire company, and they're all, let's see, we got a vice president, we got a brand new executive vice president, and then another executive vice president. So please help me welcome to the stage Erika Haines, Clay Sweet, and Julius Gilgur.
How we doing out there? How we really doing? Can we get some energy in here? Let's go. Who's excited? What a great time to be alive. Who wants to build an agency with Family First Life? Let me make some noise if you want to build an agency with Family First Life. Give us a little bit of energy to get started. All right, so the three of us are focused on building an agency, and for us to build an agency, we had to lead from the front. So today we're going to talk about the things that we've done to build an agency, but also do it from a leadership position, which is leading by example. So I'll talk about that. So when I started, I came from another insurance company, had no leads, started with low comp, all the different stories that you guys have heard of. And for me, it was, it seemed too good to be true, right? So I met Grady at a conference like this back in October of 2018, and I'm sitting there looking at him, listening to everybody talking. I'm like, if this is remotely true, like, this is ridiculous. Like, really? So I'm like, all right, I gotta give it a shot. So I give it a shot. Fast forward, 2019 was my first full year. I did $280,000 in business. 2020 is my second full year, first time hitting Hall of Fame, over $500,000. That's not for me. All that means is I'm a product of the system. I'm not that special. Anyone can do it, but it's a matter of being the example and being the leader, so that way, A, you prove it to yourself, but B, you can help inspire others. Does that make sense? So for me, that's what I had to do. Is I had to prove it to myself first. So I came out, started selling, and guys, if you're just finding out about this, maybe you've been here for a little bit, the one thing I'll say to you is just start. Just start and fail forward. You're gonna screw up. That's okay. Don't beat yourself up over it. Don't overanalyze it. Just work. Just go to work, buy leads, and don't overcomplicate things. One of the things that I see that helps someone propel forward, like these guys right here, and a lot of the guys that are on the stage, is they just start. They don't delay, they don't think about it, they get to work, right? They go out, they get contracted, they buy leads, and they fail forward, right? Because at the end of the day, guys, you don't have to be an expert to make a lot of money. How much experience do you have in this industry?
None.
How much sales experience do you have?
None.
How much experience do you have in this industry?
0.
How much sales experience do you have?
0.
How much money did you make last year?
Over $400,000.
How much money did you make in the last 6 months?
About 150.
How many do you want to make that kind of money? Unreal money, guys, in this place. And so all you have to do is go out there and start working, okay? Where else can you guys go and make 5, 10, 20K in a week? Nowhere, because we'd probably be there, right? But the reason we're here is because we can do that, right? And so it's as simple as we talk about. Buy leads, call them. Now here's the thing. We say buy leads. Who's actually paying for the leads?
Customer.
The customer's paying for the leads. Write that down. You're not buying your leads, your customer is buying your leads. Why? Because guess what? Every time you invest into the leads, yes, it's coming out of your bank account. I get it, right? It comes out of my bank account. I get that. But the clients are the one that filled out that request, right? Guess who's waiting for a phone call? That same client. Guess who's willing to invite you into their home? That same client. Guess who's going to get paid for helping that client? We are. That's the beauty of this business. When you don't overthink it, you don't overcomplicate it, and you just fulfill the requests, like my man Ryan said. The clients are the ones that request this. We're not buying leads, guys. We're actually helping people. And the sooner you can get that wrapped up in your mind, the sooner you can go out there and do it. And so, lead from the front, you guys. If you want to build a big agency, the goal is to be the proof, right? Be the proof of concept. You can do this. Show people what's possible. And with that, I'm going to transition over to Erika to talk about a little bit what she's done since then.
Awesome, thanks for having me. So I want to start by asking, how many of you guys are parents? All right, how many of you are single parents? How many of you are single parent and believe that this is too hard for you to do this? Awesome, I love to see it. So I am a single mom of 2 children, and the thing that got me started was I remember when I was younger and I was wearing hand-me-downs, and you know, I have 2 siblings, and I would be at the store and I would ask for things and my mom would say no, we couldn't afford it. So I remember when I was laying down and I thought of having kids, I knew that I never wanted my children to feel that. So I got into the workforce immediately and tried to do the best that I could for my children. And it wasn't until I was introduced to Julius that I truly felt like that was something that was possible. So I just want to go over a few things that I do that help me to consistently remind myself the belief in this business. I had to ask myself what I was willing to do to make this possible. And the answer was anything it takes. If it meant I had to miss things, if it meant I wasn't going to be at every single event, if I had to do travel trips to make enough money because I live in Phoenix and there are so many people here, that's what I was going to do. So for me, it was about quickly learning this key concept, that easy is hard and hard is easy. And what I mean by that is if you come in and you run and you do it the hard way from the get-go, it's going to become easy. Now, on the reverse, if you come in and you take the easy way out and you're lazy and you're not following the steps that are put in front of you, it's going to always be hard. So what I would say is put something in place and make sure that you are creating good habits. So for me, it was 3 things. One was time management. I had to learn what to spend time on. So if I had a bad run day, I wasn't gonna get home and watch The Bachelor for 2-3 episodes to clear my mind. I was gonna put on Paul McLean so he could kick me in the butt and remind me that it's not poor me, it's not I had a bad day, it was what can I do better. The second thing was keep it simple. Understand that this is a business where we're not calling people that are not interested. They want our help. So the moment that I became confident and I walked into the home saying, I'm here because you invited me, choose an option and then let's process it. So that was a big piece for me is really reminding myself why I was doing what I was doing and how I was going to help the people that needed it most. And then the third thing was taking emotion out. Clay has been a mentor of mine from day one, and he can definitely say that emotion is the worst, probably my worst attribute when it comes to business. So I really had to train myself to take emotion out of not just recruiting and understanding that this is not for everyone, but also in the day-to-day. If I have a no-show, it's not the end of the world. Actually, I've learned to be thankful for them because now I'm right on track because I've made my schedule so full that now I'm able to make up on some time. So learn to appreciate those things. And really, I would say by doing those 3 things, it's helped me to lead from the front and really set a standard for my team. So selling at a high standard is going to gain the respect from your team, but it's also going to allow you to have enough money to pour into your business. So, and that's really what we're here for.
With one quick question.
Sure.
With you selling at a high level, do you think that gives you the ability to challenge people to work harder because you're working your face off?
Absolutely. If they say they can't do it, I not only can say I am, but I am a single mom, so I'm doing it while raising 2 children.
That's awesome.
Well, first of all, she wrote 50 grand last month, and she was a single mother of 2. I think anyone in this building can do this. So that's number 1. Second of all, It's very much an honor to be up on stage. Every time I get up on stage, I just pinch myself because I was sitting in these chairs just like you guys were about a year and a half ago. So that's something that I take with pride every time I get up on stage. I want to talk about selling at a high level and recruiting at a high level. So what does that look like? So I think that you'll hear a lot of the different agency owners, they're big, you've heard it all day today. Their biggest regret is they didn't start from day one. Nina said it, Marissa said it, I mean, we've all said it. That was my issue. I waited 7 or 8 months before I got going. I was very production focused. And so I just kind of want to share with you some things that I did, some actionable steps to really take my business, my production and my recruiting to the next level. So we all say this is a numbers game. Insurance is a numbers game. You could be a good person in sales or a bad person at sales. If you sit enough people, you're going to make money. That is a fact. Okay? So I sat down and I said, okay, I want to build at a high level and I want to recruit at a high level. Build at a high level and sell at a high level. So what does that look like? One thing that hasn't been mentioned here is that every single one of us top producers, we all spend about $2,000 a week on leads. Oh, $2,000 a week? That's crazy. But guess what? We make anywhere from $10,000 to $15,000 a week. That's a fact. So first of all, I sat down and said, I want to be a top producer. So how do I handle that? I need to sit in front of at least 30 clients a week, or at least schedule 30 client appointments a week. Okay? I also want to talk to 5 to 10 people a day. So what does that look like? How much marketing do I need to spend in order to be able to talk to 5 to 10 people a day? Some people have huge friend groups, some people are big on social media, some people depend on cold marketing, some, etc. So I needed to sit down and say, how can I get in front of 5 to 10 people a day in order to grow my business? I did not do that last year. I was very production focused, and then I would focus on recruiting. I was very production focused, and then I would focus on recruiting. But recruiting and production is like dealing with twin babies. You can't neglect one longer than the other. You have to maintain focus on both. So I sat down and said, what can I do? I'll spend $2,000 a week on leads nonstop, and I'll also talk to 5 to 10 people a day. And since January, we were at about 200,000, and we just did over $500,000 this past month. So I would say that it's starting to work. Now, are we where we want to be? Absolutely not. But I can tell you this, that every single person that grows a business can tell you that if they do the same actions day in, day out that's working, they're going to get to where they want to go. So a couple of the things I want to hit on: 30 appointments a week nonstop. Week in, week out. No vacation time, no nothing. Because in the beginning, you need to build your bankroll. So you want to make sure that you've got enough money so that if you do get a chargeback, no big deal. You keep it pushing. And I can tell you this, it's really hard to recruit when you're under your own financial pressure. I was under no financial pressure last year, so it exuded from me when I talked to a prospect. Like, hey, John, how are you today? Good, man. What are you up to? I just made $2,000. What are you up to? Well, what are you doing? And I was able to tell them and share them and bring them on. So a couple other things that I just want to share with you is, leading from the front is showing your agents that you're willing to get into the trenches. How can I ask an agent to go do that with which I'm not going to do? So the biggest thing is you lead from the front, you book enough appointments to go see clients every week in, week out, 30 appointments a week, and you talk to 5 to 10 people a day. And if you do that consistently, and don't do like we do. A lot of us screwed up last year. We didn't talk to as many people as we should, and I regret that. I really, really regret that. But I've since cured that, and now we're starting to grow. So if you talk to 5 to 10 people a day about this business every day, not when you feel like it. And here's the other thing too, is when you have a bad sales day, that's when you should be talking to even more people. Because it's not about me, it's about the other person that needs the opportunity. So 5 to 10 people a day, $2,000 a week. If you do that for a year, you're gonna have a massive business.
So I thought it would be cool, Josh was up here earlier talking about how it's so much better when you want other people to win versus just you. So I thought it would be cool to kind of talk through, we're all on the same team. So by Julius bringing me on and saying, hey, I think you work really well with Clay, him continuing to push me. I've been here for 6 months. My team is at VP. We just hit 250,000 this month. He just hit EVP, right? And so you've been here how long? And
I started building in the end of last year. So.
And your team just made how much?
We paid over $500,000 in commissions.
Okay, so my success is helping to grow you, and then Clay, Julius.
We did 760.
So yeah, I just think it's so awesome, this business.
It's amazing because, guys, you get to work as a team, and by being the example, you can't challenge someone to do something you're unwilling to do, right? If I was unwilling to make the dials, Clay would never make the dials. If Clay wasn't going to make the dials, Erika wouldn't make the dials. It's a very simple system. Just do what your leader's doing. That's all you have to do. If you're on Nina's team, she's one of the best producers in the company. If you're on Jordan's team and Alex's team, or whoever's team you're on, has a leader that knows exactly what to do and how to do it. So if you want to build a big agency, come out and show people how to do it, inspire them, and you will build a massive agency just like these guys have, just like everyone in this room has. And so, thank you guys. That's our time.
Thank you, guys.